Hello team, how is it going? Welcome to another Battlesnake Sunday stream. I'm Corey, and I'll do my 30-second Battlesnake intro to get started. So we're going to do some Battlesnake today. Battlesnake is an online multiplayer programming game. Works like the classic phone game Snake that some of you might be familiar with. So it looks like this picture over here. You control one of these snakes by building a web server, and every turn the web server gets the state of the board and the position of all the snakes and food and everything, and decides which direction to go. Do you want to go up, down, left, or right? And so you program the strategy of your snake, and then they run and do tournaments and all kinds of fun stuff. So today we're gonna take a look at the Fall League tournament, or the Fall League qualifying ladder just wrapped up, and my competing snake at the moment, hovering Hobs, ended up in the Platinum tournament. They didn't quite sneak into Elite this time, but they ended up in Platinum. And the Platinum tournament is running pretty soon. I believe it is later this week, starting November 2nd at 5. So that means we don't have too long to get Hobs all ready to go for their tournament. So that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to take a look at Hobs. Hobs is my snake that we haven't worked on super recently, and definitely not on stream super recently. They are my min-max with a area control algorithm, and so we'll watch some of their games probably, and we will take a look at the code and make some tweaks. The one tweak that I am trying to make today, I think, is that we want to have Hobs right now. When it's doing its min-max, it's doing what's called iterative deepening, so it goes each depth at a time, and at each depth it remembers the turn ordering so that it can do it faster than it could before. And one thing that I would like to do is improve that turn ordering in between actual turns of the game, so actually remember from one turn to the next what the best move might have been to improve how fast I can look through the tree. So that's a thought that I've had for a while, and actually I got reminded of the idea from the Battlesnake Discord. Someone was talking about that earlier this week, and it sounded like a good thing to try to sneak into Hobs before the tournament. So yeah, that's what we're going to work on today, and let's take a look at some Hobs games to start off, and then we will dig into some code. I actually will be honest, I haven't been watching this Fall League games super duper closely. So we will just take a peek. I know some different people were doing some games yesterday after the ladder closed, but let's look at some of these ladder games. And these ones are actually going to be ladder games, I think, against the Elite Snakes. So not the snakes in the Platinum tournament that I'm gonna compete against, because on the last day of the ladder, I was playing against Elite Snakes, and that's what bumped me down to Platinum at the end. So these will be some good games, though. These will be good and interesting to watch, even if they're not exactly what we are gonna see in the tournament in a few days. But that'll be fun. Okay, so Hobs is this orange snake down here. We're just gonna watch a few of these games and see how it goes. I like how right now each snake's kind of just staying in their quadrant, and as I say that, Hobs finally leaves the quadrant. Hobs definitely doesn't do as good when there's lots of snakes, but if we eliminate some, they will do a bit better. See, but yeah, getting out in 3rd or 4th position I don't think is super uncommon for them. But it's always nice when we can make it a little farther. But let's see how this game turns out. I'm interested now. We got whitish down in the bottom, and coolest snake with that bright neon yellow. They're each controlling a lane. It was horizontal and now it's going to vertical. Oh, I thought whitish was trapped, but whitish actually comes away with the win right there. That one's a good one, but wasn't as exciting for Hobs. Hobs just kind of got squeezed into a corner pretty early. Let's see here. So Hobs is shorter than whitish, and going down is trapped, so pretty trapped from here. Oh, Hobs actually, this move, they thought they were dead already because they dropped their, they stopped thinking super hard, and that looks right. Even here, I don't think there's a better move. So yeah, this one's, I think, probably all the way back to here. Hobbs should have maybe tried to stick in this quadrant if possible. But hard to say. Let's check out the next game. Okay, sorry, I was messing with my iPad for Twitch stuff and wasn't paying attention to the start of the game. But we're down to Hoth, Hobbs, and Whitish. Coolest Snake got knocked out early here. I like the color of Hoth. It's got a good orange compared to Hobbs. They go good together. Whitish is really controlling the left half of the board. Oh, well, Hobbs and Hoth were sharing, but Hobbs took out Hoth, and now it's Whitish and Hobbs going at it. The snakes do definitely seem to stay in their lane in this mode a lot, just because of how it's so quadranted out that you really do get a lot of that. But that's good. It's fun. I like that Hobbs, at least when I was watching some games yesterday, they like blocking the exits, which was really fun to see. And that was fun. Yeah, backward spy, thanks. Yeah, no, I didn't have it last time. The hair was last night. Kind of for a Halloween costume, but also I really liked it, so I think I will keep it or do some different colors maybe eventually. Me and my wife did some Halloween as Jamie and Claire from Outlander. So I did a little orange red hair there for that. But it was also I really liked it and I like how it came out. So thank you. Okay, so I was distracted by talking about hair to see the end of this game. But Hobbs comes away with the win here. So Hobbs sneaks into Whitish's. Oh, does it go and goes for the tail chase? Yeah, blocks the tail chase right there. That's what I've seen in a lot of these games, is the jut-ins to get right in front of the head and get the tail. Once the snakes start filling up so much of the board here in, like, 300 and 400 turns, you can definitely get the potential for these jut-ins. I like that. Okay, we'll just watch one or two more of these, and then we will probably get to coding. It is fun to watch the games, but I don't really think they are helping. Like, I think we already know what we're going to work on today, so we don't really need the games to help us with that. We got 4 snakes here. As I say that, Combat Reptile gets eliminated. I love Pumpkin Snail. That's a great branding. And then as I say that, I curse them to be eliminated. Hobbs and Shapeshifter going at it. This one is going to be a tough one for Hobbs. Shapeshifter is my favorite. Not to pick favorites for the Elite Tournament, but Shapeshifter definitely is gonna get my vote. Hoping Shapeshifter maybe can do the sweep and win both all spring, summer, and fall. They've already got spring and summer, and they were top of the leaderboard there, so I think they've got a chance. But that was an upset. I wasn't expecting that, especially because did they just eat food? Oh wow. Okay, did that food just spawn? No. Wow. This one's super interesting. It's like one turn more and Hobbs is dead, but luckily Shapeshifter already was. And Hobbs knew it for a while, actually. They both did. This was the last move that they didn't each know. Oh yeah, and if Shapeshifter went and chased my tail instead of going back here, that game might have come differently. Wonder why Shapeshifter didn't go up there. Which turn are you talking about, Backward Spy? Yeah, I think this tail chase would have been a little better. But are you talking about a different move? Oh, this one. Instead of going up. Yeah, it's because they had just eaten. Oh, why'd they go up here instead of eating the food? Oh. That's a good question. And what's even more interesting is both me and Shapeshifter with our min-maxes, our latency drops, which I think, well, definitely for Hobbs, and I think for Shapeshifter means they think that there's not other options, and the game's essentially over. but I'm not seeing why up here is not a good move. Huh. And I guess Hobs could be seeing death for them. Hobs doesn't necessarily think they're going to win, because Hobs is definitely trapped if Shapeshifter goes up here. So that one's an interesting one. Maybe we'll, or Shapeshifter. Is this a bug? Turn, it's like the very end. It's fine. Because I think you're right, Backwards Spy. That one's interesting. I don't know why Shapeshifter doesn't just go up at the end. I think then they would have the win. Yeah. I will try to remember to pass that game off to Jonathan in Discord later and see if they take a look. That would be interesting to see. Could have just been, you know, a bug for sure. But Shapeshifter doesn't, you know, doesn't have those super often. Glad I could take advantage of one though, if that's the case. Okay, I'm actually enjoying these a lot, so we'll do another as we get started this morning. Okay, so we've got 4 on the board: Hoth, Hobbs, Master Chief, and Salazar Slytherin. And Hobbs is the early elimination, so not an exciting game for Hobbs. But I really like this orange and green color palette that we've got going on. Ooh, Master Chief taken out by the hazards. It's Hoth and Salazar to go. Hoth is definitely winning the food race here, 8 ahead of Slytherin. Controlling the top part of the board pretty well, cutting off the exits to the different quadrants. Oh, I thought that was trapped. I thought Salazar got trapped for a second, but they were good. Oh, and Hoth actually got too big for their own good and wrapped themselves up in hazards. Good game, though. Okay. I only got 2 more lined up, and then we will go do some coding. Because I ran out of games anyways. Okay, so we got Hobbs, Whitish, Pruz, and Salazar here. Hobbs in the right quadrant. As I say that, they change, because of course. So we've still got a 4-snake game, almost 100 turns in. Salazar's getting pretty big at 12. Oh, so is Pruz for the small board. Pruz and Salazar head-to-head in the food race. Salazar get eliminated there. There's a problem with getting big super early like that. Pruz is still really big though. Hobbs is staying pretty small, all things considered, and Pruz knocked Hobbs into a corner and eliminated him. It's Pruz and Whitish to go. Pruz is definitely sticking ahead in the food race. Pruz finally did learn how to rap, I think, for this season, and it's fun to see. Pruz was doing very well without knowing how to rap. So rapping, oh there we go, the Judden, oh wow, perfect timed Judden for the kill there. Nice job, Pruz. Okay, last game. Hobbs in the top right. We also have Jaguar, P-Eater, and Master Chief. One thing I was noticing, and we can take a look in just a second, for the Elite Tournament, the top 4 snakes are all in their own brackets, and I think that makes sense if they laid it out like that on purpose, but I'm not sure if they're randomized. But we are in for some good early brackets, I'm imagining, for the Elite Tournament. But Master Chief and Hobbs got eliminated early. We got Jaguar and P-Eater head-to-head at the end here. Jaguar's got the lead with that bright yellow and a lead in the food race. But P-Eater, you know, hanging out, getting some food there to grow a bit bigger. Jaguar got some as well, though, so they're still sticking ahead, blocking off all those exits, and tail chasing as usual. I thought, oh, there we go. Jaguar got Anaconda and had to go in on itself there and had no way to go. Man, this Elite Tournament is gonna be fun. These were some good games. So let's take a look at that really quick, and then we will finally get to some coding today. So the leaderboard, let's start with that because I want to see the top 4 snakes. So the top 4 snakes from the ladder are Shapeshifter, Combat Reptile, Soma Mini, and P-Eater. With Shapeshifter and Combat Reptile, pretty close in the point race here, and then a pretty big gap between Soma, and then Pea Eater down a little bit lower. So in round 1, we get Shapeshifter, Pumpkin Snail, Jaeger, and Jaguar. So Shapeshifter, the number 1 here. In Group B, we get Combat Reptile, the number 2, Whitish, Cone Snake, and Hoth. In Group C, we get D Novo, the fastest climb to Elite, Salazar Slytherin, Soma in number 3, and Snakebeard, People's Choice from in the summer with the fun pirate. And then in Group D, we got Faraday Lance, Pea Eater, Pruse, and Tiam. So we get another top 4 in each group, and I'm excited to see. So Hobs, I'm completing in the Platinum tournament with Hobs. We'll take a look at those rounds here, might as well. So in round 1, or Group A here, we got Big Slamoo, copy of Snake 2v3 Final 1, Sleepy Koala, and Sneck. In Group B, we've got Avoiding Death, Coolest Snake, with that bright yellow we were just watching, Refined Sneck, and Space Heater. Group C is Ami, Master Chief, Waldbeer, CLJ Hench. There's some good names that I, recognize. It's always fun to see where the snakes end up. There's so many good snakes that some of the ones that we expect in Elite are definitely in Platinum this tournament. It's going to be fun. But finally in Group D, or I think it's, the Group D where Hobs is, we got 2022 Fall by Tom Clymer, Boundless Scuttlecoil, My Snake Hovering Hobs, and Snake Drop. So I'm excited for the tournament here in a few days. So with that, let's go and take a look at some code and see what we're gonna take a look at today. So let's just take a look at Hobs. We haven't looked at Hobs in a little while, so it'll be good just to take a look at the code. So Hobs is my min-max snake, and so I have a min-max, like some stuff already pulled out and separated from min-max, so we will just take a look at what it looks like and see where we want to get started here. The goal here, like I said before, is we're going to try to implement between turn move ordering. So like between turn 5 and 6 of a game, we're going to remember, hey, on turn 5, we wanted to look right and then maybe left and like probably not down, and use that ordering of moves to decide what to look at first for turn 6, and that'll help us go faster. And there's a little bit of stuff there where, like, it's not, we need to look at what I thought for turn 6, not turn 5, so there's a little bit of like logic that we need to do based on the return result, but I don't think it should be awful. So let's take a little look, and then we will see where we want to add that in. And like I said, we do have some like framework stuff in the Battlesnake Minimax crate, so we'll see where we need to push the logic here to make the most sense. There's a good chance it ends up in that crate. Oh, I just want to close this repo. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so we have 2 scoring functions at the moment for Hobs. There's the standard score, which is used for most games. The only thing it's not used for is the arcade maze, which has a slightly different scoring function. They're actually really, really similar now. Arcade maze was the summer map, and I had made some differences for it. Like there's a specific length, diff, like there's just some few changes, but nothing too big. They've actually collapsed a lot over time. But we're really, if anything, we're going to look at standard score today because I have not made a custom scoring function for the fall map. So I have my scoring function. And then there's this macro to build from best cell board. Because the cell board is all broken out, or not broken out, it's a Rust type with generics. To be able to work with any sized board that's generic over some of the generic parameters, I need a macro to help me unpack that. So I just have this macro here to basically say, from a JSON game, give me the best possible cell board, and best here means like the smallest it'll fit in memory. So, a game could in theory have like 8 snakes, but if it actually only has 4. We only need to store the lengths of 4 snakes, and we can keep things smaller and things like that. So that's what the macro does. It picks the best board and then constructs our snake. So where most of the logic lives here is in the Minimax crate. I have this crate broken out. I never published it to crates.io, but it's pretty ready. It's actually documented out pretty well even. And really what it is you provide a score function of some kind, and that's about all you need to do to get a relatively performant min-max implementation out. And so that's where I think we're going to be looking at, is we're probably going to try to add something something to the min-max framework so that we can hold on to the the result from the last turn and do something with it. Except I'm not exactly sure how we are gonna do this. I'm wondering if, so we do have the framework, but in how my snakes are structured and everything right now, the framework is consumed. The Battlesnake min-max framework is consumed by the Battlesnake RS crate. Battlesnake RS is just like the one with all of my actual snakes with all of their names. And so then this crate is then consumed by my web crates. Web Axum is the one that I'm actually using. Axum is a web framework. So we've got a few levels of crates here and need to figure out the best way to do the storage. If we look at all the way at the Axum level, what I need is I need something to keep state between requests. And if we look at how we're actually, like in the move, where we actually are calling the move endpoint for the snake, this is where like everything happens. We from a snake factory create a new snake struct, and this is a boxed dying battle snake, but this is a boxed struct, and we make a new one of those for each move, each turn. And so this doesn't let us, here we don't really have a good place to do state between the turns. And that's like, you know, not the end of the world, but it does create an interesting thing with where I have things frameworked. Another thing that I didn't really think of until I started explaining it is that snake here isn't actually even the struct that I have. It's a boxed dying battle snake AI that is send sync, and this is a trait that I have that says you can you can call like a make move method that returns you a move to make. And that's really nice, but it does make it a little hard for me to add specific things just for a specific snake, just because like I've already broken it out a little more than that. So let's see what we actually want to do here. One thing that we can do is that we can just do a specific one for Hobbs's move and not use the generic thing here. The downside is that then I'm now like going around this part of the framework that I built, but in another sense, I don't really think I like the framework that I built, so I don't think it's a big deal to go around it. So let's just do this. Let's say we're gonna route the hovering Hobbs move route to a post to Copilot. Really didn't do a great job there. It wants now a function move snake. I'm going to do something called Hobbs move, I think is going to be the name of my function here. I had a go at adding state to my snakes by adding an associated type to my main snake trait, so each snake can specify its own state struct with any fields it wanted to remember. Ooh, that's a really fun idea. I might end up folding it into something like that eventually, because that's a really fun idea with the associated type. I like that a lot. So far, this will be my only snake with state, and I already don't really love my Battlesnake AI trait, but maybe there's just some tweaks we can make to it eventually. Let's think about that backward spy, and I might go back. I might, you know, like refactor into that if once we get something working for Hobbs. I kind of like that idea. Okay, so we're basically doing the move, but I renamed it. So let's just take this, and we're gonna make a new one of these, and we're gonna call it Hobs move. I don't need to do an extract snake factory because that was taking it from the name and making a snake and everything, and I just don't have that, which is pretty nice. So I want to get a factory from Hovering Hobs and call create from wired game on it. That's not what we do though. Do we like new up the factory and call the method? Is that what it is? Impl factory. Yeah, okay. So I make a factory and then I do I just do it like, how do I make this factory? Is that good enough? Do I need to give you anything? Create from wired game, no method on struct. Oh yeah, that just means you need to import something. That one's not a big deal. Okay, nice. Okay, so now this snake is now, oh, the factory create from wired game. Okay, that makes sense. I just didn't really think about it. So do I need to like, okay, so interesting. The problem here is that I do actually need some dynamicism if I'm gonna do build from best cell board, because this already is gonna give me something that has some amount of generic, and actually this actually builds the actual struct for me with a box. Oh, but it just boxes the paranoid min-max snake. Is that good enough? No, I don't think so. I would need to box things inside of it. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work great. Okay, so I'm trying to think of what's the best way for here. What do I want to get? Okay, backward spy. I think we're going your style. It turns out it might be easier to fold things into my trait rather than work around it. So I think we might do that. Okay, let's go that direction. Okay, so we are changing up our minds just a little bit here. What did I do? Was that the only difference? Yeah, no, the route. That's what I wanted to delete. Actually, I think I just can revert these changes. Cool. Okay, so we're switching gears. What we want to do is store state, and instead of doing that specifically for Hobs, we are actually going to do it for my entire like class of snakes, because they all have this battle snake. I thought I was typing. Oh, wasn't searching in the right spot, of course. So I have this battle snake AI trait. Perfect. And right now all it just has an end and a make move. I don't even know why it has an end and not a start, but that's fine. So there's a few things we want to do. The first thing is we want to add this associated type, which is the state. So I think I just want like type state. That just, yeah, it is. That's pretty cool. We're gonna see how that plays in with all of my boxing. It might be interesting. Okay, but make move. Now, do I make it take a state, or does it take an option of a state? I think it's gonna take an option of a state, because we won't always have a state. Like on the first turn of a game, you won't have a state, and so I think it just needs to be optional. I also need to do self so that it knows I'm talking about my associated type. Is there something wrong with you here, or change visibility? Yeah, sure. It can be public crate. Unnecessary. Oh, okay, sure. It wasn't telling me it needed to, it's just giving me an option. Okay, so make move now takes a optional state that you specify and just returns the same move output. I like that, but now this is mad because it needs to know what the type is, and I don't know if I even have an idea. Specify the associated type. I don't know what the associated type is. That's part of the thing. Like, can I, and then like, state, I don't know what I want to do here. State equals a box, dine any. It's just a thing. Like, I know that's not what I want here. Can I have this box thing with this state easily? Is this a gap? Do I want a gap? Generic associated type? I'm not actually sure if that's what I need here. That might be what I need to define something like this, though. Let's see what the compiler's actually telling me right now, and not in my editor, just because sometimes that's easier to see. Specify the associated type. State defined here. That was exactly what okay. So it wants me to do something like state equals, like I can make it that, but that's not helpful, right? Because that's now a stateless boxed snake. It'll compile, but it doesn't actually do anything. Oh, and now nothing actually does that. That makes sense though. But it compiles, and then boxed snake has to, oops. And then boxed snake has to take a state that's empty. Where is boxed snake being used? Actually, it's being used all over the place because I have to box my snakes in that interface, which is fine. I just don't really want... Oh, because it's a trait, I need to specify it here. Yeah, that makes sense for sure. I just don't want to. I just don't want to do this. How do I get around that, I wonder? Like, I can do that, it's a box dine, but I don't have anything to write there. There's not a specific trait I want it to implement. Well, maybe there is. What if I just want it to be serializable? Ooh. That might work. I have to box it, but that doesn't seem crazy. Actually, but the thing is, I don't actually know if I even need it to be serializable. That doesn't even seem really useful. How do I want to use my state? I guess I want it to be something that I can stick in a hash map. So let's see if there's any restrictions on that. Rust hash map. Oops, don't want to print that. I was just trying to make it a little bigger. I don't think there's any restrictions on what I can put as the value here, but I'm not positive about that. Key value, random state. Yeah, I think I can do it for any value. Doesn't look like it cares. It says equal hash near the top. I was thinking, but let me look at how this is being used. I think you need hash and equals as a key, but there shouldn't be anything that I need for the value, which makes sense, right? And the value here is the state I'd need to store. I was just making sure that there wasn't anything. Well, and actually, I almost wanted there to be something because I think I need a trait to write here to make my box dine work. Unless there's a way around needing this box dine, but I'm not thinking of that at the moment. So if we need something that everything implements, well, and I guess I could make a trait for the state and just have it be a marker trait. Yeah, like you can just be, yep. What if you're just like sized? What if I just tell you you're always sized? No? Okay, whatever. I think sized is one of the ones that just become you get for free. Unless it just doesn't like this empty thing. Is that better? Is that better? There we go. So now can I do sized? I actually don't know if I want it, but I'm just curious. Yeah, I can say that it definitely is sized. Do I want that? Yeah. Trait state. Yeah. I really wanted it to be with a semicolon, or I wanted it to work that way. Not a big deal. I don't know if I care about it being sized. Let's make it not sized. That's now dyne of this. This is a type. This has to be a snake state, because that, like, just, like, that's wrapping it up right. I don't know. This is fun. I don't really know if there's a better way to do this, but this is a fun way to do it. Cool. And then, like, you know, I can do impl snake state for that. Nothingness can impl snake state. That seems pretty reasonable to me. Because now I'm going to need to put this in everything, and I'm going to say that the state initially for most snakes is just the nothing tuple, or, you know, an empty tuple. And we will go from there. So every one of my snakes is going to be mad right now. Because none of them have a type state. Can I do that there? Does it know? Dang it. I was hoping it just was like, yeah, sure. Do what you want. Except I don't really even want to name you. You can just be that. Yay! Okay. Let's copy this, because we're going to need it a bit. Basically, every one of these has the same answer. So I think the easy way might be to do this first, and then we'll figure out what the second error is, because the first error is one that I know what to do with really easy. Oh, but I said it was a boxed dyne snake state. So actually, that means that in these methods, I actually, oh, okay. For a boxed, oh, wait, no, a boxed dyne of that. So this, I just want to box this. Yeah, this implements that, but I want to box it for here. That is what we want to do. We want its state to be a box of this. Box. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's what I had said, because I did say that I wanted state to implement this. But if state, here I need state to be boxed. So state can't necessarily, well, I could just say that impl, there's a T for box of T, where T is snake state. Okay, did that work? Expected struct that, found struct. Oh, see, but that one I thought would be fine, because that is that I thought that would work. All my snakes are angry because they don't fit in the box anymore, things Rust programmers say. I like that, Backward Spy. That's a good line. They don't fit in the box anymore. I wasn't expecting to fight the Rust type system today, but you know, there's always something fun in this land. So it expected a boxed dyne thing plus static, and I gave it that, but that implements snake state because I made sure of it. I impl snake state for this, and I impl snake state for a box of T. Yeah, so for any T that implements snake state, I implemented it for box. So why is Arthur still mad? And does it have a suggestion? Or is it just mad? So Bob, state box, expected struct box. So like, can I write that there? I doubted it, or I doubt it, but like maybe I can, but that doesn't seem like what I want to do, even if it works. Just because that doesn't make as much sense. I might have to rework the types if that's what it wants. Where's the move? There it is. So this just, what if this just becomes a dine snake state, is what you're saying? The size for that isn't known at compile time, but that might just be because I told this to be sized. Oh wait, I didn't tell it to be sized anymore. Cool, because I removed that. Okay, that makes sense, but that also means that this isn't gonna work. Okay, so I think I got too fancy. So let's unwind some of this. None of that. We might want that. I want snake state. This. Okay, so really, we can just go back to this error. Not that that's helpful, but it wants for a box snake to work. It really wants, I really just want to give it the value of a hash map. But that is going to be a little difficult, it seems. Okay, how about this? Maybe. It has a state. So, and it can take in that there. Okay, I forgot what my problem was. My problem was that I just can't specify this state in my boxed snake box. Boxing it with an associated type. Okay, let's just Google that. Rust box something with associated type. How do I box a trait that is an associated type? It uses associate. This message returns object safety. The digest trait has 2 incompatibilities. It uses associated types. It has a method taking self by value. You won't be able to call it. Okay, so that is a specific example. It uses associated types. So if I just click on this, oh, that's not super helpful. Okay, cool. So associated types, yep. I do know about that. I do understand them, but I don't know exactly how that applies to boxing. But this I also don't love. Like boxed snake and boxed factory. What if I, okay, let's like make the rabbit hole worse. What if this, what if I just didn't go heavy enough on my stuff? Because what if the factory has another associated type? What if I don't box and I just associated type everything all the way down the stack? This will be a fun experiment. Those boxes have gotten in my way before, so maybe if I just associated types everything, it'll be better. Let's find out. Okay, so where are my errors now? State here is gonna be that. Not all trait types implemented missing snake. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. You need a type snake equals, yes, of, I don't think, what is he, oh yeah, okay, it is T. Cool. Awesome. Any more problems with amphibious Arthur? Yep, it returns self snake. Okay, so this is that's fun. Oh, it doesn't return a box anymore, which is kind of cool. It just returns itself. We're definitely gonna run into issues eventually, but we're gonna see how long we can avoid it. Type snake equals bombastic Bob. If he's generic, it must be on that. Self snake. Okay. That's not the one I wanted. This one's type state. And then I had this on my clipboard at one point, still do. Cool. Okay, and then now this is where I want type snake equals constant Carter. And then this is now just self snake. And this doesn't need to be boxed anymore. Okay, we're making this is good. I'm liking this. We're gonna just keep seeing how it feels. Is this even okay? So then this has type snake equals like it's gotta be just like a there's gotta be just like a struct here somewhere. What's it called? We create a factory. Oh, it's gonna be a mini-max snake. Oh, this one's gonna be interesting because the boxing here kind of wraps a whole bunch of stuff. Ooh, interesting. Because this really returns a Minimax Snake, but Minimax Snake has some other generic things in it. And this is, so we already, I guess, reached the point where it's gonna get interesting. Because these things, like, do want to return a box. Like, at this level, this thing kind of does want to return a box thing so that it can return any, like, a different type. So I could do a box of mini max snake. Like, what are your parameters? What are you expecting? Like, a lot of things. Yeah. A dine. Yeah, what if I just, like, do... I don't even know if this is valid syntax. It's definitely not. I'm really trying to abuse Rust. Let's just use serializable again. It's a trait. It'll at least let me type it in here and give me some error messages, potentially. Okay, so, yeah, what do you wrap in? No, that's fine, but it's not what I'm looking to do. I'm actually not sure what that even is yelling at me about. It was a weird one. So in the snake in here, yeah, this, but only, I see, it just wants another one. Fun. Okay, so now it's at least type parameter provided when constant was expected. Oh, okay, so the last one is number of snakes. Got it. Can I just, like... Box a struct with generic types Rust. I'm not positive if what I can do. Generic programmers will have a size trait bound that requires a sized type, but objects like Dyne Agent are not sized. Yeah, okay. That's not what I'm talking about. Boxed agent. Yeah, that like I can box the inner things, which makes sense, but I don't want to box everything inside. That would be sad. But I can't return a type without having those. So I really am kind of in a sticky wicket. If I want this factory to have a create method that returns something, and I want that something to be one type, I really, really do need to have a single type that I return, which means I might need to box the whole freaking thing. Because I can't write Battlesnake II here, right? Oh, wait. No, I can. If I specify its state directly, that might work. Ooh, okay, there we go. Okay, I can use my Battlesnake AI when I do want to box if I specify the state. The problem was I didn't want to specify the state somewhere else, but here I'm fine with specifying the state. Boxed, Dyne, Battlesnake, AI, state, nothing. Self, snake. What's wrong with this? This is not satisfied yet. Box of it does not satisfy itself, which makes sense. This okay, so then can I do impl battle? Oh, well, that's not a Battlesnake AI, but that's fine. Impl for a type T, Battlesnake AI. That is Battlesnake AI for box T. And then I can fill in this impl. Or not. Okay. Size for values can't be known at compile time. The trait Battlesnake AI is implemented. Okay, yeah. Tell it it's sized. Only auto traits can be used as additional traits. Okay, so I can just... Can I just make Battlesnake AI be sized? Battlesnake AI is now something that can be sized. What? It can't be made into an object? Why can't it be made into an object? Is it because it has associated types? Is that the whole freaking thing here? Rust object safety associated types. So this is a pre-RFC, so on its face it seems to require unsized return types. Okay, so we are in a sticky wicket. This might be the reason I haven't actually done this optimization before, where we try to save state in between turns, because it might be that it's harder than it seems like. So that's just really an old one. I would like something a little newer, but I'm not... bounds on associated type, but prevent a trait from being object safe. Doesn't compile with the error, can't be made into an object, has a type parameter in the super trait sites or where clause. Okay, so let's just terminal this, because it'll give me some good error messaging. can't be made to run. It needs to allow building a V table to allow the call to be resolved dynamically. Okay. Object safety. Object safe traits can be the base trait of a trait object. It has the following qualities. All super traits must be object safe. Sized must not be a super trait. In other words, it must not require self-sized. Oh, okay. So sized is the thing that blew it up a second ago. Like, making the thing sized is what caused all the problems. Not all the problems, because we still had problems before, but that is the thing that made everything say it's not sized. Okay, so then here, what if I make a trait that's like yuck, or like just, I don't know, foo, where this is Battlesnake AI plus sized. And then this, where it's state equals nothing. And then this is a boxed foo. A dine foo. Oh, foo can't be sized. I can't write that. That's not object safe. That's the whole point of this. Hey, Jay Lafayette, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. We're looking at hovering Hobs at the moment, and we are trying to work on saving state in between turns so that on the next turn I can use the previous state. The state we want to use is the actual just return result from my iterative deepening in min-max so that I can do move ordering on the next turn. And we are in Rust type land where we are trying to add some associated types through things, and we are fighting the compiler, and we're gonna see where we make it today. So that is where we are at, and I'm trying to read these compiler messages. The size for values of type this can't be known at compile time. The trait sized is not implemented for this thingy. The trait Battlesnake AI is implemented. Yeah, so it's just like, oh yeah, this is implemented, but that's not. Okay. Where is the error that I'm reading? I don't think it's that one, but I think I can fix that potentially. What if this also just returns a dine foo? Haha. Now what? All of these are wrong. Nice. Okay. The trait TV7 foo is not implemented for, oh yes. That is true. I don't actually think this foo is buying me anything. Okay, well that didn't really do what I wanted it to. Okay, copy this. Paste it there. Foo can go away. There's another place where foo is, where we can get rid of foo and replace it with that. Okay. Doing good, just doing some recovering from a hangover from a Halloween party. Hope you had a good Halloween party last night though. Yeah, traits are kind of the answer to polymorphism, or like, I don't know, I think of traits like interfaces. I really like traits. What I'm actually kind of fighting with is, I guess kind of the polymorphism, trying to have a single thing that is generic but has a single type. So I'm trying to box things to get them on the heap so that I can hold on to the object without knowing its exact types. Yeah, they're kind of similar to Go interfaces for sure. Definitely, they obviously have their differences, but I think they're close enough in some senses. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're just fighting with the compiler. Let's see what it's mad at now. Yeah, it still is mad about... I'm not really sure why it's mad about this here. The size for values of type can't be known at compile time. The trait size is not implemented. Okay, is this like a problem? Like, I implemented this for box this. And if I don't do that, now it says the trait, yeah, so now it says this doesn't implement Battlesnake AI. And the whole point of the factory is that it returns something that implements Battlesnake AI. So I guess really though, is this a, do I want a generic associated type here? No, I should know what the type of this is. But the problem, okay, yeah, see, so now we're back to the problem. But I guess it makes sense, because this is, like, kind of just circular. I'm just saying return something that implements it, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. So, of course, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so I can buy that. Oh, cool, I didn't realize that Python had protocols. I haven't done Python stuff in a long time. But that would be, that's fun. Yeah. Ruby has like modules, but we don't have, Ruby doesn't really have interfaces or anything like that. I do some sorbet, which is like a type system on top of Ruby that does a little bit, but definitely not built in. Okay, but anyways, back to Rust. Devious Devon eval is going to be a tiny bit of a problem. What it returns is a Minimax snake. So I can like plug that in. It's gonna return a Minimax snake. But then the other things are where it gets a little harder. Ooh, 3.8 only a few versions off. Nice. Okay, so the first thing it takes is a game type. That one's the hard one. Game type, I don't know what to do. So for that one, let's just say that it's a... Give it enough. Oh, actually, yeah, let's just do this. Yeah, see, the problem here is the whole point of create from wire game here goes around this. Like, the whole point of doing something like this is that I want to know the type. But create from wire, this create method by definition isn't going to do that because it's returning a box thingy. So it's interesting because actually this is fine. This can return a boxed Dyne Battlesnake AI. This just can't have a boxed Dyne Battlesnake AI. Even if I tell it it's stayed, that's where the problem is. And this is... well... I can say that Battlesnake AI is implemented for a box of a Battlesnake AI. And then that gets around that, and now we get to the size for values of type this can't be known at compile time. The trait size is not implemented for that. And I also can't do this. Okay. So this is a problem I've had before. And another thing that I could do, right? So one of the problems here is that actually I want to look at something quick. How do we consume these things? In my move thing here, yep, in route move, we create from wire game, and then we just call make move on whatever we get here. So create from wire game returns a box. Oh, let's see some chat quick. I quite like the message. Signature. You can instead make a class with death call. Oh, nice. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, Twitch code formatting really does leave something to be desired there. But that makes sense. Yeah, definitely. Protocols are definitely nice. I like being able to specify the types and everything like that, and like give it like a, they all must have the same interface thing. I really do like that. Um, awesome. Okay, so I'm actually a little interested in reminding myself how everything works. So when I'm in my web framework, I create from Wire Factory. And in the old world, this was definitely returning a box. I thought I was definitely pulling this out of the box to operate on it. And maybe I am in make move, because I guess each one of these have their own make move. Is that right? Or actually, no. Make move for a minimax thing is going to be defined here. Here's where we implement Battlesnake AI for a minimax snake. Um, um, These aren't really like, okay. All factories is gonna need to change. Okay. This, oh, okay, well this one's easy because this, I can just give it a state of nothing at the moment. State equals nothing. This is actually probably where I'm gonna give things states soon. Because like this is where min-max might get a state for all of min-max, but we'll get there in a minute. I'm gonna do some easy ones first. Like these don't know about state, so we can make it know about state. Especially because we're just giving them the state of nothing. Okay, this one also wants type snake equals something like that. It returns a self snake. Eric has a generic type, so it's probably just a game. Cool. Found a box. Yep. It's not boxed. Okay. We're gonna get to some hard errors later, but it's nice going through easy ones for the moment. Let my brain take a sec to stew on some of the harder ones that we're gonna come back to. Like that one. So we're gonna skip it again. Type snake equals famished brink of a game. It's probably of a game. Is it of a game? Yeah, it's of a game. Sorry about if there's a little background noise, team. Let me know if it is unbearable. Okay, let's do type state equals that. Okay, working through all of these errors. Snake equals that. Self snake. Get rid of the box. Okay, making progress. This one's, we're not gonna make progress on this one easily though, because this one has the same problem that Hobs has. And all of these, actually this one might not. This is probably the last one that won't have that. I probably have like a jump flooding. Oh, it's a min-max as well. Okay, well then, it actually is a little harder. Because like, oh, actually this one's not harder because we do have a specific type here. This is a minimax snake with a wrapped cell board. There's a something here for that. Score type, scoreable, and then the number of snakes is for? Oh, sorry, what's the box used for in Rust? Asks Josh. And yes, putting something on the heap. So that is definitely true. What the reason I have a box is more about type stuff than about moving it to the heap. The reason I had a box was because in Rust you need to be able to hold on to a specific type, and the way to hold on to something that's not a specific type is to put it in a box dine, where you have a trait, and then that puts it on the heap, but also allows you to just like refer to, so I've had like these a lot, dine and then a trait, like in one of my traits is like the Battlesnake AI that we've been looking at. So doing something like this doesn't work because of the specifics of Battlesnake AI, but in general this is saying there is something on the heap that implements the Battlesnake AI trait, but that's all we know about it. We don't know anything else. And so I had some of those boxings so that I could use like the generic trait in places, but they were causing issues with storing the state, and we're just trying to unwrap some things and move back a few steps. We're gonna see. I'm like not honestly super like I'm not positive about this. We're gonna see how this goes. I'm not overly enthused by it. We're gonna see how everything feels here. So I also want to help. I'm trying to hope that it can help me fill in these type parameters. It didn't, but maybe what I want to do is actually, instead, I know I can't leave them blank here. Oops. I know I can't leave them blank here, but what if I just tell it? What if I lie to it and say that they're this? Actually, wait, what's the return type of this? That I probably know. That's an N64. Okay. So this can just be that. And then this is the last one. I don't know what that actually is going to be put in as. So all heap allocations will have the box type. Not quite, unfortunately. There are other, like, a vec is allocated on the heap, and that is not directly boxed. Like, I don't know if a vec has to use a box underneath, but like in me facing Rust code, there are other things that will be on the heap besides just a box. I'm not positive about like the internals of like vec and hashmap, if they always use box under the hood or not. But maybe they do. That would be interesting. Okay, so I think this is not actually N64. Maybe isn't what I want here. I think I want expected and... Oh, I think I have these backwards. That's what it's mad about right now. Min-max snake, yeah, takes a score type and then a scoreable. Yeah, so this is N64. This is the score type. And this is the freaking return value that I'm trying to figure out. And cheat. And tell it this thing and have it fill it in for me. Can you just fill it in for me? Like, implement missing members. Oh. I want you to fill in the type snake equals, sure, we'll do that for a second. Okay, so now it at least knows that. Wrap return, but like that doesn't help me at all. But thanks, computer. I need to know what this is. Can I like just go with like it's a reference to score? Like I don't know how to do that. Yeah, and I don't really know the stack versus heap stuff like super duper well, J Lafayette, to help explain it better. I apologize. But yeah, I think we were talking about this in for some of your snakes in like Zig and stuff. And I think there was more of a specific operator or a keyword, right? When you made things on the heap. And that, yeah, no, it definitely doesn't, it's not quite as yeah, Rust doesn't have quite that to it. So just different for sure. I don't know what to do about this. I don't know what the type of this is. Like, I really just don't know what to put here. Obviously, it's not a never. Like, I know it's not a never. I just don't know what to do instead. I really just want it to, like... Oh. Thanks for following, Cult of the Dead Cow user. Thank you for the follows, team. I am trying to get to Twitch affiliate status, and the follows really do help. That is one of the things I am getting towards. So I think you see in the, oh man, I'm not sure if I'm able to point to this correctly. Maybe that one, maybe down that way. There's a follower count, and it's trying to get to 50. And thank you for the follows, getting me closer and closer. I will be at my Twitch affiliate number of streams probably on Tuesday. So the last one I am hoping to hit this week is that follower count. So if you haven't already, please do give a follow and we can get that counter up to 50. Jay Lafayette has a question though. Does Rust free memory after it goes out of scope, or is there ever a need to free it manually? Yeah, so Rust frees memory when it goes out of scope, and that is part of why the borrow checker and all of that stuff exists and needs to exist, right? So because stuff is going to get freed when it goes out of scope, you need to make sure that all of the references to that thing, all of the like kind of like pointers, right? All the things that point to it are no longer active once it goes out of scope. And that's one of the things that the borrow checker helps Rust do. So yeah, in Rust, when something goes out of scope, it automatically gets its memory freed. I think you can do the memory freeing, like you can drop something. Like I could like go square counts dot drop. Or actually no, it's not that. It's like drop. Yeah, you drop a thing. You drop square counts. And then that would have it go out of scope. The really cool thing is, I don't think I can like do this. Oh, it is cool. If you actually hop to the drop function, all the drop function does is take in the value of the generic T. It takes it in and just has an empty body. Because once it owns this T, T is going to go out of scope at the end of the empty body and get dropped. So it's kind of cool that, you know, the drop function is just an empty method in Rust. I just think that's a fun fact. Oh, and yeah, that's a great call out. Acts07 is that, you know, for unsafe and systems stuff, you might want to do more manual dropping and memory management. I don't do much or any unsafe, so I forget about that, but that is a great call out. I almost always just let things drop when they go out of scope, which I think is pretty common for, you know, more higher level Rust and not quite the systems level stuff. So yeah, I'm moderately annoyed by this error that we're running into, because like, is it just like a function? Can I just say that it's a function? Because that seems like I don't think this is gonna work. If it works, then great. I don't think it's gonna. Like this, I don't think this is a type. Yeah, this is a trade object. So, yeah, I really do like the thing about dropped, and yeah, it does like kind of. I do think that helps make the full picture of like how the bar. I don't know. I like seeing that drop is basically just a no op, because it just makes something go out of scope by taking ownership of it and then not doing anything, like forces it to go out of scope and get dropped. I think that helped the concept a bit for me. It's like, this isn't what I want. I don't want this. I want the Rust type of function. Like, how do I get the type of a function as a associated type? Can I even do this? Like, can I get the type of a function as an associated type? Does anyone in chat know? Axa, you seem to know some Rust. Do you know how to get me out of this associated type? I want an actual function type issue. What I want is a function don't drop to match. What I want is a function don't drop where you take a reference to a t to match. Oh, I see. Yeah, well, you could write don't drop, right? You could add an RFC backwards spy. See if you can get don't drop into the standard library. Because that function should compile, right? It's not going to drop half the reference. Like, the reference goes out of scope, but, you know, that's fine. That's okay, Axa. Me neither. I obviously didn't know the answer to this problem, so, you know, I can't can't say anything about it. Thanks though. Hey, you know, you gotta try backwards spy. You never know until you try. Okay, so associated types. What do you want to tell me about them? You don't deal with anything about functions. Okay, how do I pass? Like, that's not really what I want, but that'll, like, function pointers. I don't really have a function pointer, though. And that's not what I want. And, like, this looks old. This is also unsafe code guidelines, so, like, I don't want to get too far into this, potentially. Like, because this is so this form is how you say a function that takes this argument and returns that argument, but this is a trait. Like, this is like syntax for a trait. Oh, okay. Yeah, so backwards spy. The question is, I am writing this associated type for the snake. So I have a factory trait that returns, when you call create from WireGame, a specific thing. Minimax snake is a struct that has some generic things. It's generic over the board, it's generic over the score type, it's generic over the scoring function, and it's generic over the number of snakes. The three but that don't start with dine were easy. I knew the type was nice and easy. This one, though, I know what it is. It's always this score function. I have absolutely no idea how to write the actual type of this score function in this associated type. Like, this function syntax is a trait, and so, like, I guess maybe I could box it, and then I could try boxing the thing, like, my function down below. But that's, you know, not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do is just, oh, and this now isn't going to be object safe because of this dined thing. So I even can't do that. I just want to know what the type of the function is, like the actual type. And I know functions each have their own actual type, so I have no idea how to write the type signature for a function without it being, like, just inferred. So yeah, is there like a Rust type of, like, can I, like, how do I, like, So, type of constant function. It's not even a constant function. It's just the type of a function. But, like, I know, and I don't want to talk about function pointers, really. Oh, wait, what is function with a lowercase a? What is that? Is that, oops. Is that different? This isn't the correct syntax. Okay, now what are you mad about? Uh... Ooh, perfect, perfect. Okay. Expected function signature, whatever. Found function signature. This. This isn't gonna work. It's the same thing. Oh, wait. Expected for... Oh, ooh, wait a sec. We're actually... that might be close. That might be actually close. Is it saying that this is just a that? Ooh, wow, okay. Woohoo! Okay, capital F, trait, bad. Lowercase f, not trait, good. Ooh, okay, I didn't know that. That was really cool though. So this is... that works. That's the function of that type. Oh, this still doesn't think it returns the right type though. Okay, so maybe not. We're closer though. I got around that type error. Oh, expected a function pointer found a reference. Oh no. Expected. Yeah, so it expected a... haven't yet internalized when to use either option. Oh yeah, that's tripping a few times, haven't figured it out. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't actually know lower FN. Well, I thought that was like just a, you know, I didn't think I was going to be able to use that there. I thought it was going to be like a reserved. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. I really didn't think that was going to work. Well, yeah, we'll see. Oh, hey, everybody. Looks like I've got more viewers now. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, maybe give me a follow and see if that 50, if we can get to 50 down there. I'm going to keep pointing to that same corner, and hopefully I'm pointing to the correct corner, but I feel like there's a very reasonable chance I am pointing towards the wrong corner. Okay, let's read this error message. We expected a struct of paranoid minmax. Okay, so we got the top level paranoid minmaxes right, and it's definitely just the one for the function. It expected it to be for any... hey, I got the corner right. Yay, mirrors and videos. I was really not sure. Okay, so for any reference length A, you can take a reference to the cell board and it'll return an F64. But what I found is the same thing with a @dyn. Oh. Is lowercase fn still not what I think it is? Oh no. That's still a trait? Because it's still a dyn. Well, first of all, if that's a dyn, how did you even let me write this? How is this even valid syntax? Like, how is this even a valid syntax? Oh, wait. I do take a reference to it, though. Is that just a... I don't think it likes my, I tried to do a GAT, I think, a generic associated type. Except, aren't those, like, getting stabilized, like, really soon? Yeah, they'll be stabilized in 165. What am I on? 166 nightly. Yeah, okay. So I should be able to... Ah, I did it wrong. I don't think that was right. I think I wanted this. And then that goes away. That uses an A. The lifetime parameter is not constrained by anything. So it's not that. Is it the for-y thingy? How do I use the for-y thingy? Rust for A. Yeah, this thing. I want to use this lifetime syntax. How do I do it? Higher rank. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if I can use this here, though. What are you mad about that freaking borrow? Actually not sure what you're mad about. Oh, expected a lifetime parameter? Is it just is it's as easy as that? Okay. Like, I don't know, I don't have anything here. Yeah, static. Sure. Oh, it is static. Because it's just a freaking constant function. It is a static reference. Okay, cool. We're getting closer, maybe? I don't know. Expected a function pointer, found, trait, object, dine, standard function. A static reference. Then is it, now can I do a dine here? Nope. Okay, so I can't, like, I just can't get it to match, but like, it's so freaking close. Okay. Okay. Expected struct. Yeah, see, so now I told it to expect a struct of. See, I've already got the 4a bit. So, like, that I don't think is the issue, because that's just the type of this thing. That's bundled into this function thing. And if I delete this, it's going to give me a different error message, and now it's going to tell me that it expected nothing, and it got an @dime. Okay, so, like... Oh, well, that's not what I want. I definitely can't do this. This is just not how it goes. I can't do @dine. The syntax just doesn't work. Definitely didn't like that, but still, that still doesn't fix it. Okay. Well, that is not fun. Like, we're so close, but I don't know what to do here. And I don't know, like, this feels like it should be possible. It doesn't feel like I shouldn't be able to do this. Consider borrowing here. Yeah, okay, well that makes sense. This is like a whole static dine. Oh, do I just need parentheses? What if that's all I needed? Wouldn't that be kind of amazing? I didn't actually realize that I already had some like a use case. Like, I didn't realize I had that over there to like copy from potentially. Like this thing. Yeah, look at that. Okay, now what are you mad about though? Like, maybe we can just deal with whatever you're mad about. Okay. Wow. Can't be shared between threads. Okay. 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 Stupid question, and you probably tried this already. What happens if you just pass score instead of reference to score? If it's complaining about receiving a reference. Yeah, right? Well, so I might have made... Oh, well, actually, now I'm... Uh-oh. So I did try that at one point, right? Because actually, I still had that here. And then... I think part of the problem then is that my from function is definitely already looking for a static reference. So I think that needs to be that, but like obviously I could go in and try to make my from function not take this, but maybe this is good enough. I think I actually got the errors out of here. So I'll answer your question. Oh, actually backwards, I already did. Awesome. Yeah, J Lafayette, the backticky thing is for lifetimes. So This static lifetime is like it's alive for the entire application. You can only use that for like constant things. So I'm saying like this is a constant. It's like part of the application in this case, which makes sense because it's a reference to the score function, and the score function like is, you know, part of the binary. Awesome. Okay, so that actually worked. I'm actually pretty happy about that. So one thing that I learned here is these parentheses are load bearing. Like, if you don't have the parentheses around the dine thing here for the reference, it goes very unhappy. And actually, let's try this. I'm curious. Nope, capital matters there. Again, not 100% sure why, but that one really matters. Yeah, lifetimes and the borrow checker definitely go hand in hand. Okay, let's see how many of these how many other ones we have. Unused macro import. Sure. Can't find type boxed factory. Yep, we don't have a boxed factory anymore. Oh, except I definitely can't do this because then I would have to specify the type of this, and like that's the whole thing that I'm trying to avoid. Where snake is a box. No. Nope. We just comment out the whole thing. Typically, all references borrows have lifetimes, but the compiler is pretty good about inferring them. You only have to specify them in more complex cases or specifically mark something as having a static lifetime. Good summary, Backward Spy. Nothing to add personally. Okay, so let's skip over all of these ones that I think are going to be the same thing. This one I can fix, though. This one, it just needs an underscore option of self-state. And this is probably where I need to define self-state. Type state. Nothing. Oops. Yep. Perfect. Okay. I'm probably reading you actually. And actually, we will get to the announcement that I have in just a minute, because we are basically there. That's actually probably not right, right? This is another one where this actually takes in a box thing. So the answer to what to put here is hard to say. Lifetimes were one of the things that made me give up on Rust, I think, because it does infer them in the simple cases. I avoided having to think about them for quite a while. Yeah, references and like lifetimes and figuring out how to handle them definitely were a big like stepping stone that I had, that it took a while for me to figure out how to like, you know, get around basically. And now I think I get it a little bit more, and it like fits well in my head, but you know, it definitely takes a while to get there for sure. It's just, yeah, it's one of these. I don't know. There's not enough things though. Yep. This one is just a self snake. Okay, so we're getting really close, but I think I'm gonna have some type issues that we're gonna need to figure out. So yeah, let's see. Is that the only thing that it's mad about right now? Kind of. It's pretty impressive if that's the only thing it's currently mad about. Let's give it all the things, but yeah, no, these are like not the right things. I guess I'd rather leave it like this, honestly. Is it true that the code of a const function will never get to the final binary files? Yeah, I understand your question, Neg Borsa. I don't know if I can give you a super confident answer. I would imagine so. right? Because the whole point of a constant function is that it can be evaluated at compile time, and the Rust compiler slash LLVM is pretty good about optimizing those kind of things. So I would imagine that that is the case, that all const functions get evaluated at compile time to the result, and so the actual code never gets in the binary. But I am not positive if I can say that with a ton of certainty. Just because I haven't been in that deep in, or I haven't done too many const function things in general, actually. Okay, well, I'm gonna do a little bit of a wrap up on Hobs. We didn't really make as much progress today as I would have liked on piping the state through. We made some good refactors on giving some of my traits these associated types. And it wasn't as easy as I was hoping it would be, but we are slowly but surely making some progress here. I can actually fill in a few more of these. Like this one is the static. I can probably do a static dyn function that takes in a reference to something and returns you in N64. And then the constant I also don't know. Oh, well, that's different. That's send sync. There's one more there that I don't know. It's going to tell me I can't use underscores in this position, but I knew I couldn't use underscores in this position. That was just basically me jotting notes to myself. Generic arg infer. Wait a second. You would let me... One of these is fine if I add this feature to my crate attributes. Const arguments can't yet be inferred. Oh, yeah, it's a const one. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty fun that that one, like, may be able to be inferred eventually. These other ones I'm not surprised that they need to be inferred. That's like kind of the whole shindig with those. So I'm gonna make a new branch for our stream today. 10:30. So what did we do today? Worked on refactoring my generic traits. The goal was to work on storing state in between turns. This would have been helpful for my Minimax snakes so that they could keep the result from the last turn around to improve move ordering on the next turn. So far we are just adding associated types to some of the traits. The goal is to add the state type to Battle Snake AI so that we can have a consistent state for each different snake. So that's the goal, and I like it, and we are getting kind of the way there, but we definitely hit some refactoring stumbling blocks along the way here. So I think I'll continue on this, but I want to switch gears for just a minute, because on previous streams, we've been actually working on a different one of my snakes, and up until this morning, that snake was called TBD Monte Carlo Tree Search, because it is a Monte Carlo Tree Search, and it hadn't been branded yet. But I'd been working on it for quite a few weeks here, and it really felt like it was the time to do some branding. So we finally have a new snake to introduce to everyone, and I thought doing it on stream would be a fun time to do it. So, I would like everyone to welcome Improbable Irene, my newest Monte Carlo Tree Search snake. And so we'll probably be working on her continuing in the winter here. Just wanted to take a quick peek at Hobs and see if we could do stuff for the tournament. But Improbable Irene is the Monte Carlo tree search snake that we have been working on for a few weeks, and is currently hanging out in some of the battlegrounds. Not doing amazing, but definitely doing better than before we hacked on them a few weeks ago. So yeah, we've got Improbable Irene to introduce, and just thought that would be a fun thing. Liking this new Hydra head that got released recently to people who have done some Battlesnake community work. So that's a fun one, and I like it, and thought it looked good. Yeah, I really like the new Hydra head. It was good timing having it come out this week. Was an easy choice to throw on there. So with that, let's actually run. I want to see an Irene versus, oh, not create Battlesnake, create game. I'm gonna start with a Hobs Irene game because that sounds fun. And then maybe we'll get some other snakes in a second. Let's do standard? No, let's do rivers and bridges because that sounds fun. And let's just run a game. I'm curious. I'm not overly optimistic that Irene is going to do amazing here. Oh, I forgot about this. This is rivers. This might be rivers and bridges where the walls are just a normal 15 damage hazard and not a instant death hazard. So they might actually go through the sauce a little bit here. I don't actually know. I think this is the first game I've run since I rebranded to see the Hydra on screen, and that's a lot of fun. But that is, oh, it's one of these 50-50s. Irene has problems with these 50-50 choices at the moment. Where like right now, both left and up, well actually down is the safe move. So that's an interesting one. I don't know why Irene doesn't go down here. Because it is wrapped, and Irene should know how to do wrapped mode. I thought Irene knew how to do wrapped mode. I guess we can look at the code and double check. Well, now I'm on a different branch, obviously, because I just made this one. Well, let's go back to main. Let's check out Irene. Yeah, Irene only knows 4x4 on an 11x11 board, but it should know the difference between wrapped and standard. But maybe there's a bug, or maybe ruleset.name isn't the thing I need to be looking for at the moment. But that one's interesting. I will add this to favorites. Does Irene know how to wrap? I really thought so, but maybe not. I can't. Oh, that's a little unfortunate. So to create rematch, you actually have to like watch the game, even if the game has already happened. Let's do another and see what we see here. So I was watching some games earlier from Hobs, and I really liked how Hobs was doing a good job of like blocking the exits and stuff for the Fall League map. So excited to see that. I'm also kind of just keeping my eye out to see if we see Irene wrap, because I thought Irene should know to wrap, but it definitely doesn't seem like she is. So that is something that I will probably take a look at here sometime soon. But even without wrapping, holding her own a little bit better in this one. No quite as early knockout as in that first game that we saw. Getting aggressive, pushing Hobs into the corner, not knowing that Hobs can wrap around the corner and come back the other side. So yeah, I forgot how much different these games feel when we're watching them in real time like this versus we watch them at the beginning of the stream in a normal, already recorded speed, and they go a lot faster that way. Forget how slow the 500 milliseconds seems so fast when we're talking about it in terms of how long the snakes have. It feels a lot longer when we're talking about watching the games play out in a 500 millisecond little blips here. Oh, but there we go. Hobs forced Irene into the sauce 2 times in a row and got the elimination there. Good job, Hobs. And I think we might wrap it up from there. Thank you for joining, everyone. I had a lot of fun as always, and thank you for helping me introduce Irene, even though we didn't do too much coding on them today. And thank you for all the new followers and people who stopped by. Hope to see you again. And one more time, if you are still here and haven't followed yet, please do click that follow button and help me get to 50 followers. That would be awesome. And yeah, I will be back streaming Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, doing some more building in public. We're building a full stack web app in Rust, and I think on Tuesday we're probably going to do some styles. Unfortunately, kind of, we're probably going to touch something that's not Rust and do some CSS, though we're probably going to do it with Tailwind CSS. So we're not going to be writing some CSS ourselves, in one way or another. So, but anyways, tune into that on Tuesday at 8 p.m. where we continue to build on Peak, and I will be back in a week for another Battlesnake Sunday next week. Look forward to seeing everyone then. You can also find me on Twitter at CoreyJA_dev if you want to follow along during the week. And the last place you can find me is the Battlesnake Discord. Battlesnake has a really awesome Discord where me, Jay Lafayette, and Backward Spy all hang out. So if you have more Battlesnake questions or want to chat, come by the Discord. It's linked in the footer from playbattlesnake.com, and we'd love to chat with you. And with that, I think I will head out of here for this Sunday. But thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see everyone soon. Have a good rest of your Sunday, team. Bye.